love higher level reviews. I mean, it's really, I've always loved them. I think recently they've gotten better, but it really is hit or miss.
Yeah.
If you are having a higher level review and you ask for an informal conference, then you'll have a decision review officer call and talk to you about what errors of fact or law that you found. Because a higher level review is a review of the record as it was at the time the decision was made. You can't file any new evidence. If you filed evidence a day after the decision came out, they're not going to review that. If you're adding new evidence, you need to go into supplemental. But they're reviewing if there were any errors. And so in the higher level review, you're supposed to point out any of those errors to them, whether it be an inadequate C&P exam or they gave the wrong rating, and based off the evidence that you can show, you're entitled to a higher rating, or the effective date was wrong, things like that. That's what you're really reviewing for. Like, that's what really happens in a higher level review. And it's supposed to be someone who has a little more experience in VA. When you initially put in a claim, I don't even know who does those. I don't know what their qualifications are, but it really seems like it's check boxes. And if you don't meet those check boxes, then they're going to deny you or give you your rating based off of the check boxes. And I see a lot of mistakes in those, which makes me go to higher level review to get those issues fixed. Now, it is hit or miss though. Sometimes I will have really good decision review officers who will fix the errors. A lot of times it'll just create a duty to assist error where they want a new medical opinion. And sometimes I just had one where they just completely miss the issue, even though it's right there in front of them, and it drives me crazy. And now I have to add new evidence to get it fixed. But that's what my experience in a higher level. What do you experience, Carrie?
It's about the same. If I'm going to do one, I would prefer to have a conference with a DRO, especially if it's something that I know that they screwed up. I know there's a duty to assist error. Or I know there's evidence they failed to get, or I know the rater just had their head stuck up. You know what? I mean, which you see all of that in this. And if it's something like that that you can point out, most DROs, like Allison said, are gonna be receptive. I've had a number that haven't been as well. I had one guy. Uh, we did the conference. There was just a straight up strong duty to assist error in the record. In the conference, he agreed with me that it was a duty to assist there. He told me in the conference that he was going to send it back. And that's what most of them get. I'd say most of them are kind of like board remands. The higher level review sends it back on a duty to assist error. That's what happens more than anything else, I think. Um, but on this one, he told me that was going to happen. It wasn't 5 minutes later that a denial was in the record. He already had that thing typed up before we had the conference, and I was livid. And somebody like that in my days in VA wouldn't have been a raider. But nonetheless, that's what you get sometimes. But if you're going to do it yourself, uh, and you want to talk to the DRO, I just be very familiar with the case, know what you want to say, um, or sometimes people are their best representatives themselves. But so sometimes I'll do an argument with a higher level review, but if it's something I just want to get out quickly and just point the DRO right to the problem, then I'll file the appeal quickly. I'll ask for a conference, and I'm usually pretty confident I can point out the problem in the conference.
I would
Uh,
also recommend I would also recommend writing your argument, like in writing too, because sometimes I'll have the conference and they won't write things down. As well as I'll ask for an informal conference and they will have attempted to call me 2 times. I did not get the call and say, oh, well, they didn't answer, so I'm making a decision. So at least they'll have something in writing for my argument. But higher level reviews are fun, and I'm glad they were added.
Now there's times too. Let me add that I wouldn't fool with one, or especially with a conference. If I know if it's a type of claim that we don't think the regional office is going to grant it because they never grant them, for McClellan claims or something like that. I'm not going to fool with them because I know what they think. I know they think they're not allowed to grant it, and we're wasting a step. Those I'm probably going to go right to the board. Uh, but those are more complicated cases, and those hopefully you have a good rep and you got something like that.